Hey folks, it's about time we wrapped this up. Around level 60 I did some quests and some Stratholm, and Stratholm it turns out is actually a great dungeon to grind to 60 in if you're in your high 50s. It also has some nice drops in it, assuming you get lucky. Anyway, let's get to it. Enjoy. Alright, we're headed in the back entrance today, the entrance to Strat UD, as opposed to Strat Live, which is full of live Scarlet Crusaders. We're going to be heading through the undead half of it, which is what Strat UD stands for. Stratholm Undead. Not these undead. These undead are more common on the live side, which is not entirely live. It does have some areas outside the chapel or cathedral or whatever it is that the Scarlets are housed up in. But there will be some more undead that are tougher than these ones. There are also these crates scattered around, which most of them are trapped. They're full of plagued rats or other icky critters, which are really annoying because they don't show up on auto target, so you can't use an auto target macro to target them. You kind of have to click on them, and they're so tiny. So that's kind of irritating. But those are few and far between. The crates that are not trapped have some very nice goodies in them, like potions, holy water, which is basically a grenade for only undead. It works only against undead, which could be pretty useful in here, but you might want to pick some up for Nefarian Phase 3 and Blackwing Lair, when all the Draconids respawn, and you wind up with a whole bunch of skeletal dragonkin on your hands. Anyway, this is Stratholm, so let's pay attention to this. I don't have Stratholm Holy Water on me, but I certainly have some crystal charges, which I just popped one out right there. And in the meantime, we can weave our multi-shots and try for the Blaaadestooorm, while also keeping a flare down behind us, because there are invisible patrols around, which we do want to catch when we see them, or when they pass by, because we can't see them. We can't see them otherwise. There's one now. Herp derp, I accidentally swapped my second bar and also auto-shot that, but Feign Death resets it. We're fine. There are quite a lot of patrols in this one area, that pass by this one area, along with all the trash mobs on the side. Strat UD is just dense with trash everywhere. Although I suppose that's just the way that it is, because it used to be a city, and it was destroyed by the undead, which is why it's occupied by the undead. If you don't know the story, what the heck are you here for, eh? Haven't you played Warcraft 3? Not Reforged. By goodness, no. I mean the original, you know? Don't buy Reforged. I've heard terrible things about it. Anyway, because of all the trash on the sides and the trash patrolling around, we're gonna be in this little nook here for a while. But hopefully not too long, because thankfully we do have two kick-ass rogues, a kick-ass warrior tank, a kick-ass priest healer, and me with the Ravager. So this is gonna go by real fast. We're gonna gobble up all that trash like a turkey. Gobble gobble. Also, they're all guildies, so I trust them to get the job done. Good and quick, and they are. We're gonna head to the left first, towards the spider boss. And, well, first we're gonna pull some ghouls and whatnot back to this area so that we don't have to fight them up ahead. It's just safer to pull stuff back when there is such a high density of enemies. Only 2 mobs were hit by that explosive trap, but 2 is better than none. And I don't really feel like chucking a crystal charge. Here's yet another ghoul, which I assume was shackled back there, but he's arrived just in time to join his friends in the ground. Here's one of those ranged crypt fiend things. And I'm not entirely sure that Los works on these guys. They might arbitrarily approach you, but their weird crypt scarabs attack doesn't seem to require Los. So that's a bit strange, but these are the undead. They're already strange as it is. But is it stranger than gnomes? I think not. So we're going to completely ignore the circumstances of our situation and proceed with killing that which is already dead. And you can kill that which is already dead, but you cannot kill that which has no life. So beware the rank 14s. But no worries about the undead. The spider boss is just around the corner there, and it is a rangy boy. So I try to los it to bring it into the immolation trap there, but instead it's hit by an ad. So that's not good, because now it's coming onto me, the uncontrolled ad. I will smack it, I will feign death, but because feign death has a little bit of delay, it puts a little bit of delay on the auto shot, it does mess up my rapid fire rotation a little bit. Ah well, the boss still dies, and we'll figure out how to deal more damage in the next attempt, on the next boss. After we clear out these here Thuzadin acolytes from the ziggurat. And there's the Blaaadestooorm that we were hoping for. Always lovely. These guys don't die too quickly, but not too slowly either. They're not quite elite, so Blaaadestooorm not ideal. But we did chuck a crystal charge and use an explosive trap, so the Blaaadestooorm is there to fill in the blanks when we have expended all of our other area effect options. The next boss is very close by now, because we cleared out a whole lot of trash in this direction. There's only a little bit more, comparatively speaking, between us and the very next boss. And by the way, at some point there's a timer added to this section of the instance, Strat Undead, where if you open the back gate, Baron Rivendare says he has a prisoner and will execute it in a certain amount of time. For some reason that's not in the game at the moment. Well, hello there, that I believe is an upgrade. Anyway, he says that he'll execute his prisoner eventually. So it's a race against time to kill the bosses and then kill the final boss. But since it's not in the game, we don't benefit from it at all. I believe it's only there to give reputation. I'm not sure it provides any items if you don't count the benefits of having Argent Dawn reputation maxed. But whatever the case, it is a cool little event that is not in the game at the moment. This is unofficial classic, so perhaps it just has something to do with the patch that we're in. I drop an explosive trap outside the range of that shackle target there. But I'm going to break the shackle anyway with my multi-shot, because I cannot be bothered. Who the heck needs CC? Even if that target is the one that can silence our healer, we will give no hex. First rule of Hunter, no hex. I've popped off my multi-shot once again, and now this here Banshee is going to feel the strength of my aim shot, which is actually doing a decent bit of damage apparently, because check out the meter down there. Not too shabby, but we have a long way to go before we reach the pinnacle of our strengths. This here boss has a strange possession mechanic, so I pop my rapid fire as soon as possible in order to use it before that happens. Here we go with possession, and now our friends need to beat us up. It's a good thing I'm not wielding the Ravager at the moment, because if I got a Blaaadestooorm proc, everyone would die. Also, the boss reappeared there for a moment, even though she's not supposed to be there, and Raptor's just swinging away over there. But luckily, he did not use Bite until after she reappeared. Maybe that's a scripting thing? In which case, thank you, Blizzard, for saving my pet's focus. That is very courteous of you. Now, if you could only fix the pay thing, I would be most appreciative. For those of you who have tried farming DMT up to this point, the pay thing is quite hacked. But we'll talk about that later. Soon, actually. She tried to possess me again, but she was not fast enough. She knows who the threat is. The biggest threat. I brought a whole bunch of these acolytes up into the explosive trap. Gonna drop another one, just because. And we got a Blaaadestooorm. Huzzah! This is always fun, but even though it is quite rare on such mobs that die so quickly. Hello there, ghoul. I will counterattack you and step away. while we finish off that there, the Crypt Fiend thing. You know, the thing from Warcraft 3, except it's in WoW, under a different name. I can forgive Muffin for shackling targets, because as you can see, he's using it to chain pull the ghouls. And although I prefer to AoE everything down like a reckless hacker, this is fun too, as long as we always have something to shoot. That is the idea of being the point man. You always keep something in your group sight as long as the healers have mana. And since Muffin is the healer, he can safely decide when pulls can go out. And so he is. I also forgive him because the name Muffin is very cute, and I would pet Muffin on the head. Or perhaps take a bite out of Muffin Head? He is Muffin Head, not Muffin on head. Not pat me on my head. I am Muffin. What am I going on about? I don't know. But we got a shackled ghoul here, so let's kill it. Let's break the shackle and free ourselves from this cage of antiquity. And by that I mean we should ding 60. We should get closer to dinging 60, which killing that ghoul has helped us to do, and which killing the rest of these mobs will help us too. We are almost at a new level. Not quite 60, but just about there. It was too bad that those two mobs were not in range for the multi-cleave, but it's okay. I guess it was fortuitous that it was shackled because it does do a fear, and it did result in getting some more mobs. Not that our healer could not handle it, but I suppose I am a little bit low on mana. I could certainly use a drink. That's what the Lily Root was for, though. We use that to help sustain on a long chain pull. It certainly gives us enough mana, enough energy to pew pew for a few more damage cycles, as we are doing right now. Around the next corner is the final ziggurat boss, and he is Maleki the Pallid. He is a cold boy. I think that he does cold attacks, I think. I don't remember what he does. I thought that my aimed on mouse over macro had targeted that banshee, but I was actually targeting the ghoul there, which is why it said target too close. We've stepped back now though, so we'll certainly get that aim shot off. And I'll stay at range to one more auto before attempting for the rapture, but that did not pan out. And I also got a mouse over aim shot on that there Crypt Fiend, while bringing the ghoul slowly over to us with a concussive shot and an auto shot. These two are close enough now that I've backed up well enough that we could hit them both with a multi-shot, so we did. But this Crypt Fiend, this Crypt Crawler, is a little bit too close for comfort now. Not anymore now that it's dead, but it was too close for comfort. These Thusadin necromancers are all over the streets in this section of Stratholme. And I believe these three were the ones in front of Maleki the Pallid. I would need to look over there, but I'm tunnel visioning on the mobs, rather than being aware of my surroundings. Who needs situational awareness when we have chain pulls and other stuff? Ah well, I suppose I could assist in the pulling a little bit. I can try to attack and then los that there banshee. So let's fire off a distracting shot at it, which we did. And now it's coming over to us. Now our rogues can eat it up. Yummy ghost. What do banshees taste like? Do you think their flowing white dresses are like... Do you think they taste like cloth? Oh hey, there's an eye of Naxxramas. And I'm feared, but a scatter shot finished it off. Okay. That honestly should have been a life right there or something like that, but nope. And now we're clearing the necromancers in front of the next boss. That pack was just around this corner, and like I said, there's a lot of trash in this dungeon. But if you've got a good solid group, you can blow through it easily enough. And hey, everything drops Scourge Stones, everything gives you Argent Dawn rep to a point. So I suppose it's nothing that we should complain about, right? Honestly, I would prefer to do more runs than kill more trash. So if there were less trash and we could do runs faster, that'd be more fun. But it is what it is. And I will accept it. This boss did not step in the immolation trap, or he resisted it. So that sucks. But our rapid fire was fired off effectively, so I'm not bothered. This is the last ziggurat, so let's try to get that Blaaadestooorm out once again. 3 for 3. I've dropped an explosive trap, and it doesn't look like I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna fire one more multi-shot off. Excuse me. Never mind. Let me just leave. I'm just gonna leave. It was a bucket of disappointment. No Blaaadestooorm. No nothing. But these guys are not disappointing. There are a whole bunch of necromancers and skeletons, and there's also a chest right behind them. So I guess that's why we cleared these guys out. And there's the Blaaadestooorm. You, sir, are late, but I'm grateful for your presence. It's a little bit too far away from the others, though, so I broke it with Scattershot. And we're gonna DZS on this here Necromancer while shooting the other one. For as long as we can, anyway. I'm kind of stuck here with the cripple debuff. It's fallen off, so I can back up and fire off that one auto shot. And now we can move on to the next pack. And we'll keep the mobs at bay and try to keep them together, too. These two are a little bit too far apart, and I don't appreciate that. Now that they're together, we can multi-shot once again. Weave in for that little Raptor Strike, and try to get an aim shot off on that last target. But it missed anyway, so that's not pleasant. Worst feeling in the world when your aim shot misses. Cannot wait to hit 60 and get hit capped, so that never happens again. There are a whole bunch of little critters on our healer. His Holy Nova can hit them, but they won't spring any traps either. For some reason, they will not spring the explosive traps, so that really sucks. But multi-shot can hit them, and that's good. I guess it's just how the behavior is, since they are critters. Now, as you can see, this thing is clearly out of our line of sight, but it is casting there. So, like I said before, I don't think that they're affected so easily by Los. You just need to step away from them in order to pull them back. Whatever the case, we've decided to charge in anyway. And these other mobs all around us are not going to bother us. They're going to be chill, they're going to be cool. They're going to be chill like death. Because they are the undead. Well, except for this here ghoul, which is wailing on me non-stop. Just kind of waiting on Pietro to take this off me while I alternate attacks there. It's on Muffin now, so that's even worse. Never wanted on your healer, boys. But he's tanking it okay. Lost half his HP, but he's fine. This is the last ghoul, and as you can see, Muffin has yet again shackled the next target in preparation for our follow-up attack, which has come out in the form of an aim shot. And we're going to go ahead and charge it now, because it is out in the open. It is away from its friends. It looks like there are 4 ghouls up ahead. Probably the largest ghoul pack in the entire instance. Those 4. Right before the final gauntlet. Pietro is getting a little bit low, but I have the utmost faith in Muffin Head to keep him safe. 1 crystal charge, 1 explosive trap, weave out for that multi-shot, and dash back in to try to finish off that target. Or Dragon Gun, since we're not having any luck on the Blaaadestooorm today. I'm taking a little bit too much damage, and I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm weaving out to multi-shot until my mana and HP are restored by the level up. Counterattack is available, but I'm gonna Blaaadestooorm instead, because I'm happy. I do a happy Blaaadestooorm because I just ding the next level. Huzzah! That boss there is the one that ran from us when we opened the first gate in Strat UD. So he's there. He runs all the way over here, and then we kill him. On private servers, you could send your pet through the gate and pull stuff like this boss at the very beginning of the instance. But on Official Classic, it says no path available, so RIP us, I suppose. Not unless we find some other way to glitch our pet through the gate and get this guy early. Not that it matters, getting here is not particularly difficult, just a little bit tedious, so unless you're farming something off this guy, and I don't think he has anything really noteworthy for us, except perhaps for Peacemaker, which is basically a less powerful Barbarous Blade. And if you're not aware, Barbarous Blade is very, very, very good. Very powerful. Peacemaker is only 4 AP inferior, so not bad. Not bad at all. Anywho, we are on to the final gauntlet section of Stratholme. This area with all the abominations in front of the slaughterhouse. And unlike the other trash, they will come to us all of their own accord. They have a little bit of a death wish, and I don't blame them, they are too ugly to live. Like Princess Theradras, who is someplace which I do not wish to revisit, but who I have gotten requests to revisit, both by her and also by those who follow my content. Because apparently, Maraudon farming is still a thing. And yes, I suppose it is. Maraudon is a very chill farm, and ghost mushrooms will go up in price eventually. RIP, Rogue. Where was I? Oh yes. So Maraudon farming is still a thing. Although Dire Maul Tribute is incredible gold per hour, very reliable. And you could even get lucky with some tomes. Maraudon is very chill, so some people like to hang around there instead. Some people prefer Maraudon. So I suppose I'll go revisit Maraudon and see how that goes, but I do want to address Dire Maul Tribute first, because it is the most reliable, and it is the most powerful, at least at this time. Unless ghost mushrooms are absurdly expensive on your server, in which case perhaps Maraudon does have some merits. We know that the Warlocks will need it for their Shadow Power elixirs, and your Shadow Priest, whoever he is. So, you know, they're inferior, non-hunters. They do not have Feign Death, so anytime that your guild is progressing on, say, AQ or Nax, they're gonna have to pop quite a lot of those Shadow Power elixirs. And that's when you make a profit. Because you sell your Ghost Mushroom elixirs, they buy a ton of them because they're always in need, and you can afford all of your consumables, whatever you might need, and also whatever you might want for your friends. Seriously, I've been snatching up Lays of Lilies for like 25G. I must have gotten like 10 of them so far, and I've just been handing them out to guildies or friends who don't have them, because I love the item that much, and I really appreciate them. Rapture is hungry, and I do notice that. So I'm just gonna auto shot here, and I guess I could try for the death ray. Oh, the auto shot crits, so the mob is finished a little bit quicker than I expect. Rapture is back there eating up, and he'll be able to rejoin the fight very soon. But in the meantime, our guildies have gone on ahead, and we of course are obliged to assist them, since we are here practically being power leveled as it is. Better than questing out in the open world, especially with Phase 2 out these days. You know, they'll be looking for you. They'll be looking real hard for you. But Stratholme Undead is always there for you. Always there to give you your XP. Those frayed abomination stitchings are for some kind of enchant or some other crafted items. I'm not exactly sure what, but I don't recall them being relevant to us. I just hit the greed roll on it anyway. I imagine someone would need if they need it. But if anyone does know what they are for, well, hit me up. Because I sure as heck don't remember. Maybe they're not important after all. You know, we're hunters. We don't really give a heck about anything that does not affect us directly. That is the way that it must be. Or heck, even about some stuff that does affect us directly. Like if you have a mob on you, you just smack it and also shoot the thing in your distance. And you do not care about the thing that is on you, because it is only a DPS plus. As long as you don't count the aim shot being messed up. Ideally it's in your melee range but also not smacking you. So good luck having that sorted. Maybe your pet can hold on to it with constant growls while you go ahead and shoot whatever it is that you want to shoot. I've scattershot that they're bile slime, but it parries my attack. There's some more to multi-shot, so we take advantage of that. But no explosive trap to drop today. These things are really delicate, so they must be... Yeah, you must pop very quick response consumables or whatever on them, like crystal charges, or the explosive trap, ideally. This here is the Abomination boss, and he drops a fun little lightning trinket. I remember it being more of a meme item than anything. Like, deals less damage than the Goblin Dragon Gun. But still pretty flashy, still pretty cool. And hello there, animated chain necklace. That is a very nice necklace for your healer. Also, after the boss dies, a whole bunch of these skeletons and whatnot spawn in. I'm just gonna pop off the explosive trap, pop deterrents. I'll drop a crystal charge right there. Apologies for the ancient, or the animated chain necklace in the way there, but I wanted to admire it a moment longer. Next up are these blackguards that come out of the slaughterhouse, in which the final boss resides. No explosive trap today, but I certainly can get off a crystal charge. I'm going to step back from these guys because my multi-shot is off cooldown. And I guess there are only 2 targets left now, so let's keep pew-pewing. Let's shoot him dead. Ah, aim shot miss again. Right, here we are on the final boss of Strat Undead. There's Baron Rivendare, who is a Death Knight, and he does this here shadowy aura, which does actually cause spell pushback. So ideally we outrange it. Got a skeleton on me, but that's okay, I can smack it for the moment. Or try to, it's dodging my attacks. There we go. They're not very tough, but they can disrupt your spell casting, or you know, your aim shot. We're gonna try to let Muffin handle those skeletons. And he does. Quite spiffy, my good lad. Now that we're outranging the shadowy aura, we can aim shot in peace. Aim shot crit, very nice. Hello there, Skullforge Reaver. Didn't that become an heirloom at some point? I think it did. Anyway, that's not all that we did to hit 60. Here we are out in Silithus, of all places, with our good friend Pellucidia, also known as Caminador. And we're going to complete the Molten Core pre-quests for Aquils. The Aquil Quintessence, which is needed to douse the runes behind many of the bosses, or nearby many of the bosses, and then finally face Ragnaros. Other people have already done it, so it's not very urgent for us. But I still want that Eternal Quintessence someday, so getting it done sooner rather than later is usually less painful in the long run. For some reason, for some unfathomable reason, Blizzard said, hey, why don't we have this quest that is mandatory for defeating the final boss of one of our first raids, that takes you to opposite ends of the freaking earth, and also out in the middle of nowhere. Because not only is the quest giver for this dumb quest out in the water east of Ajara on some random island that no one in their right mind would know about unless someone told them. But it also sends you all the way to Silithus and then to the total opposite end of the world, to the Eastern Plaguelands. What the heck, Blizzard? Do you want us to waste our time? Well, I'm not going to waste your time. We're only going to do this one quest. I'm going to skip over the EPL one. It's about as tedious. But luckily it is made more fun by the presence of a friend, especially a hunter friend, who also has Broken Tooth. So our Broken Teeth are having a little play date. I attempted to drop a trap there, but that did not really pan out. Those two are just close enough for the multi-shot, so it's good for us both. And now these are in a good position to alternate attacks on, and also DZS. So let's get the DZS off. That was that 194 you saw in melee. That's multi-shot being fired on the melee target. If you don't know what that's about, review the multi-shot advanced techniques tutorial, or episode 17 or 23 of the Classic Hunter series. 17 was all solo grinding, and episode 23 was all duo grinding with the paladin, and there was also a glossary of techniques and combos in the description of episode 23. So if you do happen to want to brush up on your hunter techniques at all, they were just a little bit too far away for the multi-shot to chain across all three. It can chain behind you. I have had it happen before. But these rock elementals apparently have a much smaller hitbox than one might expect. We've only pulled 3 at the moment, so that's unfortunate. But we'll be sure to get more on the next pull. As you can see there, we only hit one target with that last multi-shot. So their hitbox is indeed rather small. Here we go, pulling a whole bunch more. I'm gonna scatter that one in the Frost Trap to try to get it entrapped. Gonna Rank 1 Arcane that one, Wing Clip that one. We'll ping that one too with another Rank 1 Arcane shot. And this thing, I guess I'll get my Wing Clip blocked. I'll Wing Clip this one too, or block again. And I guess I'll pop deterrents because I've got 3 of them on me, and I don't know how this happened, but it's a thing. There's the multi-shot, going out at a good time. A little bit sooner would have been nice, but there's only so much you could do with 3 of them on you, in your face. These guys are entrapped, but I do pop off the counterattack anyway. Everything else. A little explosive trap to add to the carnage. How about an iron grenade? And another multi-shot. The iron grenade is not for damage. I will state it again. It is for CC. But since I have quite a lot of them at this time, mostly in my bag, I am popping them off like bubble wrap. Popping them off like bubble wrap. Rapture can go fetch that other mob while we get that one over there. These things do summon a hurricane cloud above your head, which they do not need to channel for some reason, because screw druids, I guess. I should turn off aspect of the cheetah before I get dazed here. I gotta multi-shot them while they're in range. I pop off the distracting shot on that one in order to bring it back to me. That way we keep them together, we keep them in range to multi-shot them both. And there is just enough time for mine to go out. So, yay. These things are a bit more spread than the rock elementals, or at least it feels that way. Maybe they're just tougher mobs and it feels as though they're more spread out. The earth elementals seem easier to tango with, to grab, and kill. And for some reason, their Hurricane Cloud does not act right for AoE, because it can actually daze you if that first hit hits. I resisted it there, so I was not dazed, and I still have no idea. Let's finish this thing behind me and wing clip this, and shoot it from over here because now Pellucidia has aggro. Bah. Well, I thought he would hold aggro for a little bit longer, and there I go trying to toggle off Cheetah when I already have it up. RIP that immolation trap too, because it did leave the radius for it. It's a force of habit, I suppose. But you do need to be aware of it being up or not. There are some hordes roaming around, but they all seem to be peaceful. Because when we leave each other alone, we all get more done. There are quite a lot of air elementals around, and by the way, this has been a little bit of a peeve of mine recently, but the elemental invasions are out. So you might see Avalancheon in Ajara, or the Windy Boy in Silithus. And for some idiotic reason, there are quite a lot of people who will just rush straight to the rare and murder it for all the drops. Which I suppose is fair if you're here for a short while, But here's the thing. If you leave those rares up, other elemental mobs keep spawning. And there's the days on the lightning cloud. As you can see, it's not strictly an AoE, it does have a direct damage component. Anyway, what was I just saying? Oh yeah. So, if you see one of those elemental rares up, they do drop quite a lot of valuables. But their lackeys can drop those same items, and they are very plentiful. So get a Major 3, swing by the Elemental Invasion Zone, and milk the cow. Maybe have steak later, but for goodness sake, portion your appetite. Anyway, after we were done flying all over the world, we returned to Duke Hydraxis and turned in these quests. And at long last, at very long last, ding 60. Yay! So, our first order of business is getting Rapture to level 60 as well, and then learning a gold farm. We have to keep up with all the various goods we must purchase, and Rapture must perform in raids, so these are important initial goals besides seeking out pre-raid biffs. That said, we'll check out how my old favorite grinding spot is on Official Classic, and then we'll have a look at Dire Maul Tribute running for the first time. But that is for later. For now, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a long journey to 60, but I hope you enjoyed every moment. If you liked this episode, I appreciate you showing me by dropping me a like down below. Share this video too, because the more the merrier. If you haven't already, it'd help me out immensely if you were to subscribe and click that bell icon for notifications so you never miss another upload. I love bringing new content to you guys, so I hope you love seeing it just as much. Check the description for more links and a skip list. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!